Oh, hey guys, how's it going? Ryan Elias here. Today we're going to be discussing Massachusetts Institute of Technology and their impact on the history of automation. Really quickly, we'll be going over our agenda today. We'll be discussing the overview of MIT. We're going over a timeline of the impacts they've had in automation before going over each individual invention, going from digital circuits, the digital computer, MEMICS, functional programming, the spreadsheet, Boston Dynamics, and then finally with closing remarks. Let's get started. First and foremost, let's start with an overview of MIT. As one of the most renowned and accomplishing schools in the entire world, since its creation in 1861, MIT is known for its great innovations and research in science, mathematics, technology, and much more. Its motto, Mens et Manus, means mind and hand, which signifies the fusion of knowledge with practical purpose. Along with other big-name universities in Cambridge, Massachusetts, MIT is an extremely high-achieving institution. But only with an acceptance rate of about 6 to 7%, it is also extremely competitive. In their own words, the mission of MIT is to advance knowledge and educate students in science, technology, and other areas of scholarship that will best serve the nation and the world in the 21st century. The Institute is committed to generating, disseminating, and preserving knowledge, and to work with others to bring this knowledge to bear on the world's greatest challenges. Let's go over some of the impacts they've had in automation. Throughout its existence, MIT's innovations often address the problems humanity needs to solve most. A few of the most prominent innovations that came out of MIT pertaining to automation include digital circuits, the digital computer, MEMICS, functional programming, spreadsheets, and Boston Dynamics. Let's begin with the digital circuit. Contrasting with analog technology, digital computation signals are time-separated signals, which are generated using digital modulation rather than a continuous signal that represents its physical measurements. With this innovation, master student Claude Shannon showed that the principles of true or false or Boolean logic could be used to represent the one-off stages of electronic switches, a concept that served as the foundation of the field of digital circuits and therefore the entire industry of digital computing itself, and was called one of the most significant master's theses of the 21st century. Claude Elwood Shannon was an American mathematician, electrical engineer, and cryptographer, known as the father of information theory. Shannon is noted for having founded information theory with the landmark paper, A Mathematical Theory of Communication, which he published in 1948. The first digital computer that could operate in real time came out of Project Whirlwind, an initiative during World War II in which MIT worked with the U.S. Navy to develop a universal flight simulator. The device's success led to MIT's Lincoln Laboratory in 1951. By 1950, Project Whirlwind was in limited operation at MIT as a general-purpose computer. It was the first computer that operated in real time, with the first video display for output, and was the first computer that was not just an electronic replacement of older mechanical systems. Leading this project was Jay Forrester, the founder of System Dynamics, or SD, which is an approach to understanding the nonlinear behavior of complex systems over time using stocks, flows, internal feedback loops, table functions, and time delays. Magnetic core storage is a class of computer memory devices consisting of a large array of tiny toroids of hard magnetic material that can be magnetized in either of two directions, and 3 or 4 wires pass through each core sending bits of information from each toroid or bit. Professor Vannevar Bush proposed a data system called MEMICS that would allow a user to, quote, store all his books, records, and communications, and retrieve them at will. A concept that inspired the early hypertext systems that led, decades later, to the World Wide Web. Later, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, would use this concept for the MEMICS program, which, quote, seeks to develop software that advances online search capabilities far beyond the current state of the art. The goal is to invent better methods for interacting with and sharing information so that users can quickly and thoroughly organize and search subsets of information relevant to their individual interests. Although the MEMICS device pertained to more individual use, it advanced the principles of data and information storage, which was inevitably used in automation. The name Lisp derives from list processor. Linked lists are one of Lisp's major data structures, and the Lisp source code is made of lists. Thus, Lisp programs can manipulate source code as a data structure, giving the rise to macro systems that allow programmers to create new syntaxes or domain-specific languages embedded in Lisp. John McCarthy, also known as the father of artificial intelligence, invented Lisp programming language as a researcher at MIT. Before Lisp, programming had difficulty managing multiple processes at once because it was procedural. Functional languages described required behaviors more simply, allowing much more work on bigger problems than ever. Moving on to the spreadsheet. In 1979, Bob Frankston and Dan Bricklin worked on an MIT mainframe to create VisiCalc, the first electronic spreadsheet, which sold more than 100,000 copies in its first year and over 700,000 in 6 years. 3 years later, in 1982, Microsoft got into the game with Multiplan, a program that later became Excel. In industry and automation, spreadsheets are paramount systems to manage a manufacturer's supply, production, and results. They are mainly preferred for their simplicity, organization, and efficiency in calculation management. Finally, known for innovating and developing high-performance robots, Boston Dynamics was founded by Professor Mark Ribert as an MIT spin-off. The company focuses on robotics research and development, while recently, they began offering some of their more commercial bots, such as Spot, a robot dog, for sale. Although the robot line is composed of more legged robots, Boston Dynamics has just recently released an announcement of their first commercial manufacturing robot called Stretch for managing warehouses and manufacturing automation. As it uses a simple suction cup array to lift 50-pound objects, Stretch will become a major contender among the many other automated vehicles in a manufacturing plant. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed and got to learn something. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, or if you're in class, let me know in the chat. Thanks, and I'm going to see you later. See you.